Welcome to Relation Tales. Please like this video and subscribe Relation Tales. Let's begin. The sun was setting in warm hues as Nathan Grayson turned onto his peaceful cul-de-sac, his heart pulsing with anticipation. This was supposed to be a special weekend, a rare opportunity to rekindle the intimacy that had slowly faded from his marriage to Emily. Lately, their connection had felt like a dying ember, not because of constant fighting, but a gradual drift, a widening gap filled with obligations, distractions, and silent disappointments. Tonight, he was going to change that. Nathan had cleared his schedule, ignored the relentless flood of emails, and shut off his work phone. He wanted to surprise Emily, to remind her of what they had built over the years. He had picked up a bouquet of white lilies, her favorite, and even planned a candlelit dinner. Their eldest daughter, Olivia, was thriving in her first year of college, and their younger daughter, Sophia, was away on a school camping trip. For the first time in a long while, they had the house to themselves. But as he pulled into the driveway, a slight unease crept into his chest. Emily's car was in the garage. She was home early. Nathan's lips curled into a faint smile. Maybe she had the same idea. Maybe she wanted to surprise me too. That would be exactly what they needed. As he stepped inside, the air felt different. The house was too quiet. "Emily," he called, stepping into the foyer. No response. His brows furrowed as he walked through the house. The kitchen was pristine, too pristine. No signs of dinner, no glasses, no wine set out. His gut tightened. Where is she? Then, from down the hallway, he heard it. Drawers opening, closing, the faint rustling of fabric. His pulse quickened as he moved towards their bedroom. He pushed the door open, expecting her to turn with a surprised smile. But what he saw made his stomach drop. Emily was at her vanity, carefully applying deep red lipstick, dressed in a sleek black dress that clung to her curves. The pearl necklace he had given her last Christmas shimmered against her skin. Beside her chair, a pair of matching heels waited, perfectly placed. And next to them, an overnight bag, half-packed. Inside, he saw delicate lace lingerie, something new, something he had never seen before. The lilies slipped from his grip, landing in a soft rustle on the floor. For a moment, he just stared at her. "You look incredible," he managed, forcing his voice to stay level. His mind struggled to catch up with what he was seeing. Did he forget something? Did I miss our plans? Where are we going? I can get ready in a flash. He forced a chuckle, but it felt hollow. Emily didn't smile back. Instead, she sighed, setting the lipstick down with an eerie calm. She turned to face him, her expression unreadable. "Nathan, we need to talk." His heart stopped. Everything inside him screamed that whatever was coming next would shatter his world. Nathan swallowed, his throat suddenly dry. "Talk." His voice came out hoarse, strained. "About what?" Emily took a breath, as if she had rehearsed this moment 100 times. "I didn't want to tell you like this, but since you're home early, I might as well get it out in the open." She paused, as if choosing her words carefully. "I have plans this weekend." His eyes flicked to the overnight bag. His stomach twisted. "With someone else," she added. For a moment, Nathan thought he had misheard. The words felt unreal, like a distant echo in his ears. "You're joking," he said, a small, incredulous laugh escaping. "This has to be a joke." She shook her head. "No, I'm not." The room tilted. His breathing became shallow. "You have plans?" His voice hardened. "With someone else? Are you telling me?" He stopped, pressing his fingers against his temple. "You're leaving? For the weekend?" Emily exhaled, as if exhausted by the conversation already. "It's just for a few days, Nathan. I'll be back by Sunday, and everything will go back to normal." "Normal? Normal?" Nathan let out a short, hollow laugh. "Are you ****ing serious?" Emily flinched, but recovered quickly. "I need this," she said, her voice cool. "I've been feeling lost since Olivia left for college. I don't even know who I am anymore. This isn't about you. It's about me." Nathan's jaw clenched so hard he felt his teeth ache. "And spending the weekend with another man helps you find yourself?" She didn't respond right away. When she did, her words cut deeper than he thought possible. "He makes me feel alive." The room spun. He forced himself to keep standing, to keep breathing. His voice was barely a whisper. "Who is he? How long has this been going on?" "He's just a friend," she said, too quickly. A married friend. We've had lunch a few times. He understands me. His fists clenched at his sides. His entire body burned with the effort to stay calm. You don't think this is cheating? He asked, his voice dangerously low. She squared her shoulders. I'm telling you up front. That's not cheating. Nathan let out a slow, bitter breath. So, let me get this straight. You're telling me you're spending the weekend with another man. In a hotel, I assume. And that's not cheating? She hesitated. It's just one weekend, Nathan. One moment in time. It doesn't change how I feel about you. Nathan's blood ran cold. It changes everything. For years, he had trusted her, devoted himself to their marriage. And now, with a few casually spoken words, she had shattered everything they built. She was ready to walk out the door. Like it was nothing. Like he was nothing. Nathan took a slow step back, his body trembling with barely contained rage. Not now. Not yet. Emily turned back to the mirror, completely unbothered. His mind was racing, his blood boiling. But beneath the anger, beneath the betrayal, something else began to stir inside him. A cold, calculated resolve. This wasn't over. This would never be over. If Emily thought she could rewrite the rules of their marriage without consequences, she was gravely mistaken. Nathan's revenge was about to begin. Nathan stood there, frozen in the doorway, watching as Emily casually continued applying her makeup. The audacity of it. She had just admitted to betraying him, yet she didn't flinch, didn't hesitate, didn't care. The woman he had spent 20 years with, the mother of his children, was walking out on him like he was a mere inconvenience. Something inside him snapped. But instead of exploding, he did something far more dangerous. He smiled. A slow, unsettling, knowing smile. Emily finally noticed his silence and turned, her brows knitting together in confusion. You're taking this well, she muttered. Nathan shrugged, stepping further into the room, masking every ounce of rage that boiled beneath his skin. Well, you were honest, he said smoothly, voice void of emotion. And that's what matters, right? She blinked, clearly caught off guard. So you understand? She asked, hesitant. Oh, I understand, he said, keeping his tone eerily even. You need to find yourself, and this man helps you with that. Emily exhaled in relief, nodding. Exactly. Thank you for being reasonable, Nathan. He walked over slowly, stopping in front of her. His gaze flicked to her overnight bag, to the delicate lace lingerie buried beneath folded blouses. His gut twisted, but he kept his face calm. He reached out and ran his knuckles along the curve of her jaw, so gently. Emily inhaled sharply. His touch was unexpected. Have fun, he whispered. And then he walked out. Emily stared after him, stunned, but he didn't look back. Because he wasn't done. Oh no, his revenge had only just begun. Nathan entered his home office, closing the door behind him. The second the latch clicked, his entire demeanor changed. His hands shook, his jaw tensed. He paced, breathing hard, forcing himself not to throw something. Not yet. Instead, he sat at his desk, steepling his fingers, breathing through the blinding fury. Think. Don't react. Plan. Execute. Emily thought she could play him. She thought she could spit on their marriage, their history, and their vows, and return home like nothing had happened. She thought she could rewrite the rules and he would just accept it. She was wrong. Very, very wrong. He grabbed his phone, scrolling through contacts until he landed on a name he hadn't touched in years. Isabella Monroe. A smirk ghosted his lips as he hit dial. The phone barely rang before a familiar, sultry voice answered. Well. Nathan Grayson. I thought you were dead. He chuckled darkly. I need a favor. A pause. Then interest. I'm listening. Game on. Emily left 2 hours later, dressed to perfection, heels clicking against the pavement as she pulled her suitcase behind her. Nathan stood at the living room window, watching her get into the sleek black sedan that wasn't hers. His jaw clenched. So, he came to pick her up? Good. Nathan pulled out his phone and snapped a photo of the license plate. He would find out everything about this man, and when he was done, there wouldn't be anything left of him. But first, he had a date of his own. The restaurant was dimly lit, the air thick with expensive perfume and hushed conversations. Nathan sat at a private booth, fingers drumming against the polished wood as he waited. And then she walked in. Isabella Monroe. She was just as stunning as he remembered. Dark, wavy hair cascading over one shoulder, lips painted blood red. A woman built for destruction. A woman who once had been his biggest mistake. She slid into the seat across from him, crossing her legs slowly, her gaze dripping with amusement. "You must be desperate to call me," she purred. Nathan smirked, tilting his glass toward her. "Or very, very smart." Her lips curled. "All right, Nathan. Tell me why I'm here." He leaned in, and then he told her everything. By the time he was done, Isabella was grinning. "Oh, darling," she whispered. "You don't want just revenge?" He met her gaze, unflinching. "No, I want ruin." She took a slow sip of her drink, eyes gleaming. "Then you came to the right woman." Emily thought she was clever. She thought she could cheat, lie, betray, and still return to a warm home, a devoted husband, and a perfect life. But she didn't know Nathan, didn't know the cold, ruthless side of him she had awakened. While she was in another man's bed, Nathan was setting the stage. Within 24 hours, he had Isabella dig up everything. His wife's lover, his background, his finances, his weaknesses. The man's name was Eric Calloway. Married. 2 kids. Filthy rich. And best of all, hiding secrets of his own. Nathan smirked. Perfect. Now it was time for the fun part. Sunday evening. Emily returned exactly as she promised, dragging her overnight bag behind her, her expression carefully neutral. Nathan was waiting in the living room, sipping whiskey, his expression unreadable. She smiled, hesitant. "I told you I'd be back." He gestured to the seat across from him. "Sit." Emily hesitated. Something was off. Slowly, she lowered herself into the chair. Nathan leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees, eyes cold. "So, how was your weekend?" Emily froze. Something in his tone sent a chill down her spine. "It was fine," she said carefully. Nathan nodded slowly. "I bet." Emily swallowed. "Nathan, His phone buzzed. He held up a finger, cutting her off. "Excuse me for a second." He pulled out his phone, smirking as he read the message. "Phase 1 is complete. He's about to lose everything." Emily frowned. "Who was that?" Nathan's smile turned dangerous. "Don't worry, sweetheart," he murmured. "You'll find out soon enough." Emily's blood ran cold. For the first time since this began, she felt something she hadn't before. Fear. And Nathan? He was just getting started. Emily sat stiffly in the chair, gripping the armrests as Nathan scrolled through his phone. He wasn't angry. He wasn't yelling. And that terrified her. Because Nathan Grayson was never this calm. "Nathan," she tried again, forcing a small, uneasy smile. "You're acting strange." He lifted his gaze slowly, locking eyes with her. A look that sent ice through her veins. "Am I?" His voice was smooth, deliberate. Emily swallowed hard. "Yes." Nathan leaned back in his chair, swirling his glass of whiskey. "Well, I suppose I've had a lot of time to think this weekend. About us. About our future." Emily's stomach twisted. Something was wrong. "You're not mad?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Nathan's lips curled. "Oh, sweetheart, I'm way past mad." Then he placed his phone on the table and pressed play. And Emily's world shattered. Her own voice filled the room. "I just needed one moment to feel like I was more than a shadow, like I was someone worth noticing." Emily's breath hitched. "No, no, no, no." She shot forward, reaching for the phone, but Nathan snatched it away. "Sit down." His voice was steel. She froze. She had never heard him sound like that before. "Nathan, where did you get that?" He took a slow sip of whiskey, savoring the moment. "Oh, Emily." He shook his head. "You really thought you could do this and walk back and like nothing happened?" Emily's hands trembled. "It was just one weekend." Nathan cut her off, tilting his head. "Yeah, you said that already." He leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. "Tell me, Emily, if it was just one weekend, why did I find out about the other times?" Emily's heart stopped. "What?" she whispered. Nathan smirked. "Oh, you didn't think I'd dig, did you?" Emily's stomach dropped. "Oh, God." Nathan slid a thick manila envelope across the table. "Go ahead," he said coolly. "Open it." Emily's fingers felt numb as she hesitated. Something inside told her she didn't want to see what was in there. But Nathan didn't give her a choice. He grabbed the envelope, ripped it open, and let the contents spill onto the table. Photographs. Dozens of photographs. Emily with Eric Calloway, laughing over lunch, hands brushing, lips inches apart in a dimly lit hotel lobby. Time-stamped messages. Receipts. And the worst part? It didn't just date back to this weekend. It went back months. Emily gasped, her face draining of color. How did you? Nathan's smile was pure venom. You underestimated me, sweetheart. Emily's mind spiraled. She had been careful, hadn't she? She looked at Nathan, expecting to see rage. A storm, but there was only ice. Nathan, I can explain, she stammered. He laughed, a low, dark sound. Oh, I'd love to hear it. She reached for his hand, desperate. It wasn't supposed to be like this. He yanked his hand away. Emily flinched. I was lonely, she whispered, tears welling up. Nathan's eyes burned into hers. You were selfish. A heavy silence. Then he exhaled, as if making a decision. Well, he said, standing. I hope your weekend was worth it. Emily's stomach nodded. Nathan, what are you? But he was already walking away. And that was the moment Emily realized. She had lost him, but he wasn't done with her yet. The next morning, Emily woke up to chaos. Her phone wouldn't stop ringing. Her messages were flooded, from friends, from family. And then she saw it. The leaked photos. The messages. Someone had sent them to her workplace. Her friends. Her children. Emily's breath caught in her throat. Oh my God. She bolted up, heart hammering, dreading what she'd find. And then, her eyes landed on the divorce papers sitting on the kitchen table. Nathan's signature already inked. And a small note. Actions have consequences. Welcome to yours. Emily collapsed into the chair. Nathan hadn't just left. He had destroyed her. The fallout was immediate. Her boss called. HR wanted a meeting. Her reputation was in flames. Eric? He was worse off. His wife found out. His business partners distanced themselves. And when she finally called him, desperate, pleading, he didn't pick up. Emily sat in her car, gripping the steering wheel, hyperventilating. Nathan had been quiet. Too quiet. And that's when she realized. He had been planning this. Not just revenge. Destruction. And he wasn't done yet. Emily sat in her car, hands trembling as she scrolled through the damage. Her text messages were filled with everything from outrage to disappointment. Her mother. Emily, what have you done? Her best friend. I can't believe you. Her coworker. I'd stay home if I were you. Her boss. Emergency meeting. 9 a.m. Don't be late. Her breath came in shallow gasps. She tried to call Eric, but the call went straight to voicemail. He was avoiding her. Of course he was. He had more to lose than she did. Emily's eyes darted to the divorce papers on the passenger seat. Nathan had already signed. He wasn't waiting. He was erasing her. And then, her phone dinged with a new message. From Nathan. Just 3 words. Check the news. Her stomach twisted. She opened the news app, and the headline hit her like a truck. Scandal exposed. Prominent business executive's wife caught in affair with corporate partner. Below it, photos of her and Eric. Emily's vision blurred. Nathan hadn't just destroyed her marriage. He had destroyed her entire life. Emily stumbled into her house, her mind a storm of panic. She needed to talk to Nathan. Fix this. But when she entered the living room, she stopped cold. The house was different. Things were missing. Nathan's belongings. His suits, his laptop, his framed photos from the office gone. Her heart slammed against her ribs. She rushed to their bedroom, yanking open drawers. Empty. The closet? His side was cleared out. And then she saw the note on the bed. A single sheet of paper, written in Nathan's careful handwriting. Emily, you made your choice. Now, I'm making mine. Enjoy the consequences. Nathan. Emily sank onto the bed, her whole body numb. He was gone, and he wasn't coming back. The next morning, Emily dragged herself to work. Her boss didn't waste time. You're suspended until further notice, he said coldly. But this is a corporate nightmare. Emily, your name is all over the headlines, and so is Eric's. Do you have any idea how bad this looks? She swallowed. I can fix this. Her boss leaned forward, eyes burning. You're not getting it, Emily. You're done here. Her stomach plummeted. Her career. Her livelihood. Everything she had worked for gone. She staggered out of the office, barely holding herself together. And then her phone rang. She answered without thinking. Mom, your father and I are disgusted with you. Her mother spat. Do not bring this shame to our family. We need time before we can even speak to you again. The call ended. Emily stared at her phone. Her own parents had turned their backs on her. Nathan had taken everything. Her husband, her respect, her career, and soon she feared her children. When Emily pulled into the driveway, she saw Olivia's car parked outside. Her heart leaped. Maybe my daughter will still stand by me. She rushed inside, calling out, Olivia. The 19-year-old stood in the living room, arms crossed. Her expression was ice. Where's Dad? Olivia asked. Emily flinched. He left. Olivia nodded. Good for him. Emily's breath hitched. Sweetheart, I know this is a lot. Don't call me that. Olivia's voice was sharp. You don't get to play the victim. Emily stepped forward. Please, let me explain. I saw the photos. Emily's mouth snapped shut. Olivia shook her head, disgusted. Do you even care about what you've done? About what this has done to Dad? Emily's eyes burned with tears. I made a mistake, she whispered. I know that now. Olivia didn't blink. No, Mom, she said. You made a choice. Then she grabbed her purse. I'm staying with Dad, Olivia said. And I'm taking Sophie with me. Emily's blood ran cold. No, she gasped, shaking her head. You can't take her away from me. But Olivia was already walking to the door. She turned one last time. You don't deserve him, she whispered. Then she was gone. Emily collapsed onto the floor, sobbing. She had lost everything. Days passed. Emily didn't leave the house. Didn't eat. Didn't sleep. Everywhere she went, she was a pariah. People stared at her in the grocery store. Old friends refused to return her calls. And Nathan? He was flourishing. She saw the photos online, him smiling. Happy. With another woman. A beautiful brunette. Emily's breath hitched. She zoomed in on the photo. The woman's name was Isabella Monroe. Emily stared at the screen. Isabella. Nathan was moving on. And not just with anyone. With her. Isabella was from Nathan's past. A woman he had once been close to. Emily had always sensed something between them. But Nathan had chosen her back then. And now? Now he was showing her what it felt like to be replaced. Emily's heart twisted in agony. Because for the first time she understood, she had thrown Nathan away. And now, he had done the same to her. But worse. Because while she was drowning, he was thriving. Emily sat in the dark, scrolling through her phone. Everywhere she looked, there he was. Nathan smiling. Nathan thriving. Nathan with Isabella Monroe. It wasn't just a casual fling. They were together. Publicly. Her fingers trembled over the screen. She had ruined everything. But she wasn't done yet. She needed to see him. One last time, Emily knocked on the door of Nathan's new apartment. Her heart pounded. She had no right to be here. But she had nowhere else to go. The door opened, and there he was. Nathan stood tall, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. And behind him, Isabella. The sight nearly broke her. What do you want, Emily? Nathan's voice was flat, emotionless. She swallowed hard. I need to talk to you. A pause. Then, no. The door began to close. Emily panicked. Nathan, please. He held up a hand. Don't beg. Emily flinched. Because for the first time, she saw it in his eyes. He felt nothing for her anymore. She had done this, and there was no undoing it. Emily sat in her car, hands gripping the steering wheel. Her life was in ruins. No husband. No career. Her children wouldn't even speak to her. She had lost everything. And Nathan? He had won. But she wasn't mad at him. Because he had every right to hate her. For the first time in months, she truly understood. She had broken him. And he had done the same to her. The difference? He had moved on. And she was stuck in the wreckage. Emily sat at her kitchen table, staring at a blank sheet of paper. She had nothing left. No way to fix what she had done. But she could at least do one thing right. She picked up the pen, and she wrote, Dear Nathan, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve it. I ruined everything, and I will spend the rest of my life regretting it. But I want you to know, I loved you. I still do. Even if you never want to see me again, please know that I am sorry. For all of it. Emily. She folded the letter, placed it in an envelope, and mailed it. Her final goodbye. Nathan found the letter in his mailbox. His fingers hovered over the envelope, debating whether to open it. In the end, he did. He read the words, and for the first time, he felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just nothing, because he had already let her go, and he had no intention of looking back. He tossed the letter in the drawer and moved on with his day. Months passed. Emily slowly rebuilt herself. She got a new job, started therapy, focused on being the best mother she could, even if Olivia and Sophie were still distant. She had lost her old life, but she wasn't going to let it define her. She had a long way to go, but for the first time, she was trying. Nathan and Isabella walked hand in hand through a quiet park. The past felt like a distant memory. Emily no longer occupied his thoughts. He had moved forward with someone who respected him, who valued him, and for the first time in years, Nathan Grayson was truly, finally happy. One day, Emily and Nathan crossed paths. A random meeting at a coffee shop. Their eyes met. Emily swallowed. "Nathan," she whispered. He nodded. A moment of silence. Then, "I hope you're doing well," he said, voice genuine. Emily's eyes burned with unshed tears. "I'm trying," she whispered. Nathan gave a small, almost sad smile. Then he walked away, and that was the last time they ever spoke. Emily learned the hardest lesson of her life. She had taken everything for granted, and she had lost it all. Nathan had found his peace, and now she needed to find hers, not in someone else, not in fixing the past, but in becoming better. Years later, Nathan stood in the backyard of his home, watching his kids play. Isabella was beside him, smiling. His wife, his future. Emily was just a chapter in his past, a painful one, but one that no longer defined him, because in the end, the greatest revenge was not ruining Emily. It was moving on and living a life she could never touch again. The end.